These are the 5 types of suppliers that you need to absolutely avoid. These are the 5 types of clothing suppliers that you need to absolutely avoid. Incompetent supplier. Number 1. Incompetent supplier. Now, these suppliers are typically not having the right skill sets to even execute your production. The way to identify is these are the people who are never going to ask you a follow-up question, or there will be some sort of shallowness in their response, which basically means they are talking to you at a very superficial level. So if you get in touch with such suppliers, you will have a very bad experience and you should absolutely avoid. Type 2. Unknown suppliers. These are suppliers who nobody has heard of anytime, anywhere before. So the reputational risk for these suppliers is very low. You should definitely avoid such suppliers because if they screw up your brand's production, your brand's order, they got nothing much to lose. They don't have a big reputation, and most likely a lot of people run scams as well if they are quoting you a price which is too good to be true, or quantities which are too low and it just doesn't make sense in terms of the numbers. They are probably going to cheat you and you should definitely avoid them. The third and the most obvious suppliers that you need to avoid are the delusional suppliers. These suppliers will not do a lot of legwork. They will expect you to spoon feed and present them everything on the plate, and they will ask you to do a lot of legwork, get the samples, check pack, blah blah blah, but never really commit on pricing or even provide a range of pricing. Or they are just non-responsive, ghosting you every once in a while, not very proactive. This is basically a sign that this is probably not a good supplier for you and you should avoid them. This is probably the fourth one. I would say newbie supplier. If you are a new fashion brand, you are still struggling to get your own fit on the ground and you are learning the ropes, probably it's not a good idea to also work with a newbie supplier. There is nothing wrong. We were once newbie suppliers ourselves, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with newbie suppliers. It's simply that if you are trying to figure things out, you want a very matured and experienced partner who knows what needs to be done. Whereas if you are learning the ropes and your supplier is also learning the ropes, I think it might be just a bad combination. Supplier, I would say, as a red flag are the suppliers who miscalculate. Now, these suppliers are really a bad and a big red flag, because if a supplier is miscalculating their cost, they are probably not miscalculating for once, they are usually bad in running numbers. And if someone is bad in running numbers, don't think that just because they did not include a certain cost, so they will put money from their own pocket in your brand. That's not going to happen. So eventually what will happen is they will delay, or they will just return you the money, or in worst case scenario they will just disappear like this and you will lose your money. So I would recommend you avoid such suppliers altogether. If they say oops, there is a miscalculation, of course there is a caveat. People make mistakes. There is always an honest mistake. We also make mistakes, but if they are consistently making calculation mistakes, numbers mistakes, and they don't really have a sense of running the numbers, it's a very big red flag and you should definitely avoid such suppliers. Well, that's it for today. I hope you found our video useful. Do leave us a comment if you want to include some new topics or if there is something we missed out in today's video. Make sure that you also hit that subscribe button whenever we post a new episode, new video, new podcast. You will be the first one to know. So make sure that you are subscribed to our channel.